Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Aulia Rahma. Today I will briefly explain one precise measuring instrument called the micrometer screw gauge. What is a micrometer screw gauge? A micrometer screw gauge is a tool used to measure the thickness, diameter, or length of small object with very high accuracy, usually up to main parts of the micrometer screw gauge. 1. Anvil, the fixed surface that holds the object. 2. Spindle, the moving surface that presses against the object. 3. Sleeve, has the main scale in millimeters. 4. Thimble, the rotating part with a secondary scale. 5. Ensure consistent pressure when measuring. How to use it? Place the object between the anvil and spindle. Turn the thimble until the spindle lightly touch the object. Use the rated to avoid over-tightening. Read the main scale whole millimeters on the sleeve. Then read the thimble scale additional fractions of millimeters. ADD both readings together to get the final measurement. Example, the main scale reads 7 mm, the thimble scale reads 0.35 mm. Final measurement 7.35 mm. Why use micrometer screw gauge? It is more accurate than a vernier caliper for small objects. It is essential in mechanical engineering, manufacturing, and laboratories where high precision is needed. Thanks for watching and thanks for listening. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Hello everyone, my name is Diki Maulana. In this video, I will explain about thermometer. The thermometer is instrument used to measure temperature. It tells you how hot or cold something. Thermometer are very important in our daily lives, especially in health, cooking, weather, forecasting, and science experiment. There are many types of thermometer. Some common types are mercury thermometer, digital thermometer, infrared thermometer, and alcohol thermometer. Mercury thermometer use mercury inside a glass tube that rises or falls with temperature change. Digital thermometer use electronic sensor to measure temperature and show the result on a small screen. Infrared thermometer measure temperature from a distance without touching the object, and they are very useful during the COVID-19 pandemic. Alcohol thermometer are like mercury thermometer but use color alcohol instead of mercury. Each type of thermometer has its own advantage. For example, a digital thermometer is fast and safe, while a mercury thermometer is very accurate but must be handled carefully. In hospital, thermometer help doctor check if a patient has a fever. In the kitchen, we use food thermometer to make sure meat or cake are cooked properly. In weather station, thermometer are used to report daily thermometer so we can plan our activities. Using a thermometer is very easy. That is all from me. Thank you very much.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, my name is Fadia Ramadhani Sadikin, and here I want to tell about spectrophotometer. A spectrophotometer is a scientific instrument used to measure how much light a chemical substance absorbs. It works by passing a beam of light through a sample and detecting the amount of light the passes through or is absorbed at specific wavelengths. The device typically consists of a light source, a monochromator to select the desired wavelength, a sample holder, and a detector that measures the intensity of transmit or absorbed light. Spectrophotometers can operate in the ultraviolet, visible, or infrared regions of the electromagnetic spectrum depending on the type of analysis needed. Spectrophotometers are commonly used in fields such as chemistry, biology, medicine, and environmental science. In chemistry and biology, they help determine the concentration of a substance in a solution based on its absorbance. Following Beer-Lambert's law, in medical laboratories, spectrophotometers are used for diagnostic tests like measuring blood glucose or protein levels. In environmental science, they assist in detecting pollutants in water or air. Their ability to provide quick, accurate, and non-destructive analysis make spectrophotometers essential tools in both research and industry. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone, today I will explain to you about very simple measuring tools but very meaningful, of course. So this one is a roll tape. In Indonesia we call meteran roll, like that. So roll tape has several main part. The first one, of course, the tape. This one, the tape. You can see a number on there. The second one is the hook, this one, end of the tape. The third one is a case. You can put the tape inside the case like this, outside, inside. The last one is the lock button. This one, lock button. Unlock and lock. Unlock, you can pull out the tape. So you can press this one for lock, like this. This is called the lock button. We can use this one for measuring a longer stuff. For the example, is a table, is a wall, or a box, like that. So how to use this one, Vita? Don't worry guys, I will tell you how to use this roll tape. I will give the example for measuring this iPad. You can put this hook on there like this. So after that, yep, it's enough guys, it's enough. You can press the lock button like this. Nah, after that you can see how much this iPad. So this iPad has 10 centimeters. Each big number is in centimeters, you can see. So the small number is in millimeters. Millimeters and centimeters, like this. And that's how you to use a roll tape. It's easy, fast, and very helpful for measuring a long stuff. Thank you so much for watching. See you on the next video. Bye bye. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Vidya Ranatania Putri. Today I would like to explain a measuring instrument called the balance scale. A balance scale is a mass measuring instrument that consists of two metal arms to equal length. It is used to measure the mass of an object by balancing it with standard weight. One arm is used to place the object being measured, while the other arm is used to place the counterweights until both sides are perfectly balanced. The main principle of this instrument is to equalize the gravitational force on both arms. When both sides are balanced, it means the mass of the object is equal to the total mass of the weight on the opposite side. This type of scale has a high level of accuracy, often up to the 1,000 of the grams, making it stable for measuring small and lightweight objects with great precision. Balance scales are commonly used in laboratory, especially in chemistry and physics experiments, where precise mass measurements are crucial. Despite being a traditional tool, it remains a reliable and educational instrument to understand basic measurement concept and the principle of equilibrium. Thank you for watching. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Hello everyone, my name is Ganes Della Fatona. My student registration number is 1,302,622,068. In this video, we will explore the thermometer, an essential tool for measure temperature. Let's dive deeper into how this device works. A thermometer is an instrument used to measure the temperature of an object or environment. Temperature is the measure of how hot or cold something is. This tool is extremely important in various aspects of daily life, like measure body temperature, air temperature, or liquid temperature in scientific experiments. Its main function is to provide accurate temperature readings, which are essential in many fields like healthcare, laboratories, industry, and meteorology. There are several types of thermometer based on their working principle. Number one, a mercury thermometer. This is the most traditional type of thermometer. It contains mercury, which expands and rises in a glass top according to the temperature being measured. Mercury has a stable physical property, making it a reliable way to provide accurate readings. And number two, digital thermometer. Digital thermometers use electronic sensor to measure temperature. The temperature is displayed as a digital number, which makes it easy to read and quick to ask. This type is commonly used for measuring body temperature. And number three, infrared thermometer. This thermometer works by detecting infrared radiation emitted by the object or body. It's commonly used for measuring body temperature without direct contact, particularly in medical settings. And now each type of thermometer has a slightly different method of use. Number one, mercury thermometer. Place the thermometer tip on the object or body part you wish to measure, like your forehead. Then wait for a few seconds until the mercury rises and stabilizes. Then read the temperature on the scale marked on the glass top. Next, digital thermometer. Turn on thermometer by pressing the power button. Then place the sensor tip on the area you want to measure, like the forehead or underarm for body temperature. Then wait for a few seconds and the temperature will appear on the digital screen. Next, infrared thermometer. Point the infrared sensor out at the object or body you want to measure. Then make sure to keep the recommended distance from the object. Then the temperature will be displayed on the screen almost immediately. Thermometers are incredibly useful tools for accurately measure temperature, whether it's checking your body temperature when you're feeling sick or measuring liquid temperature in an experiment. Thermometers help us make informed decisions based on precise temperature data. Go ahead and use a thermometer the right way. Thank you.
Hello, good morning everyone. My name is Hiram Fadil Nur Hamid from the Basic Education Study Program, Faculty of Mathematics and Natural Science, State University of Yogyakarta. Today I'm gonna explain one of measuring instrument, and the specific is manometer. Manometer is a device used to measure the pressure of a gas or liquid. It typically consists of a U-shaped tube filled with a liquid, such as water or mercury. One of the tube is open to the atmosphere, while the another side is connected to the system whose pressure is being measured. When there is pressure difference between the two ends, the liquid inside the tube move. The difference in the liquid level representing the pressure difference. By measuring the height difference, we can calculate the pressure using the relationship between pressure, density, gravity, and height. Next, a manometer is a simple and accurate, very effective for measuring relatively small pressure. They are often used in laboratory, industry, and mechanical systems to monitor and control the pressure safely. There are different type of manometer, such as simple U-tube manometer, the inclined manometer for the greater accuracy, and the detailed manometer, which use sensor to provide pressure reading electronically. In summary, the manometer is a reliable and essential tool for the measuring pressure in various scientific and engineering application. Okay, thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Irma and I want to assignment these talks for English for teaching my English for teaching course where I want to explaining the screw micrometer, a tool commonly used for precise measurement in engineering and science and education. One thing, and I want to explain of the screw micrometer. And a screw micrometer, also known as a micrometer screw gauge, is a highly accurate measurement instrument used to measure the thickness or diameter of small objects, such as wires, bolts, or mechanic parts. It operates on the principle of a screw thread, where the linear movement of a spindle is controlled by rotating of a thimble. The screw micrometer consists of several key components, and one is frame. Frame is the rigid body of micrometer, typically made of metal, which hold the other parts in place. And two, anvil. Anvil is the fixed part of the micrometer that holds one end of the object being measured. And three, the spindle. The spindle is the movable part that closes in on the object, pressing it against the anvil. And four, thimble. Thimble is the rotating component that allows the user to adjust the spindle. It has a scale that provides reading with the high precision. And then 5, reset stop, a mechanism that ensures the spindle is turned with constant pressure, preventing over tightening and damaging the objects being measured. And 6, the last 6, it's a scale. Scale is the micrometer has two scales, one on the sleeve and another one in the thimble. The scales combine to provide a precise measurement, typically to the nearest hundredth of a millimeter or hundredth of a millimeter. Terus, to use a screw micrometer, the object to be measured is placed between the anvil and the spindle. As I said before, the thimble is rotated until the object is firmly held in place. The measured is then read from the scales, giving an accurate result. Micrometers are widely used in various fields, including mechanical engineering, manufacturing, and research, due to high precision and ability to measure objects with a very small margin of error. And that's for my explain. I hope this explains help to clarify how the micrometer works. Thank you for attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Dadah.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, my name is Kezia Salsabila. Today I will explain about the measuring instruments. First of all, what is measuring instrument? Measuring instruments are tools that we use to determine the physical quantity of something. They help us measure things like length, mass, temperature, time, electric current, and many other properties. Now I will explain about the microscope. A microscope is an instrument used to see objects that are too small to seen by naked eye. It magnifies tiny objects, allowing us to observe their details clearly. Microscopes are essential tools in biology, medicine, and material science. For example, scientists use microscopes to study cells, bacteria, and tiny structures inside plants and animals. Microscopes have helped humans make many important discoveries, like understanding how diseases work and how living things grow and function. In short, microscopes open up a hidden world that is normally invisible to us. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Mahda Aulia Rahma. Today I want to talk about a simple tool called the room thermometer. A room thermometer is a tool that measures the temperature or the air inside the room. It's helpful us know if the room is too hot, too cool, or just right. The temperature is usually shown in degrees Celsius or degrees Fahrenheit. To get the correct temperature, the thermometer must be placed away from direct sunlight, air conditioners, or heaters. There are two common types of room thermometer. First, digital thermometer, which show the temperature on a small screen. Second, analog thermometer, which have a needle that points to a number on a circle. Using a room thermometer is very easy. You just place in the room and wait for a few minutes to read a temperature. Why is this important? Keeping a good room temperature is important. A comfortable room temperature is usually between 20 and 25 degrees Celsius. If the room too hot, we might feel tired or sweaty. If it is too cold, we can get sick easily. Where do we use room thermometers? Hospital, office, and even our homes use room thermometer to keep the air comfortable and safe. In short, a room thermometer is a small but very useful tool in our daily life. That is all for me. Thank you for listening. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Hello everyone, my name is Naswa Kamila and I'm majoring in physics education and I'm from University of Jakarta. And today I'm going to explain one simple but very important measuring instrument. It's the thermometer. A thermometer is used to measure temperature, which is tell us how it's hot or cold. It's an essential tool everyday life, like in science, medicine, weather forecasting, and even cooking. So there are several types of thermometer such as mercury thermometer, digital thermometer, and infrared thermometer. Mercury thermometer thermometer uses mercury inside a glass tube, and digital thermometer shows the temperature on a digital display, and the infrared thermometer measures temperature from a distance without touching the object. For a mercury thermometer, the principle is simple. The first, when the temperature rises, the mercury expands and moves up the tube. So it's moved up. And when the temperature drops, the mercury contracts and goes down. Okay, a digital thermometer uses sensors that convert temperature into an electronic signal, which is displayed in numbers. How to use it? So, using thermometer is very easy. The first step is place the thermometer where you want to measure the temperature. For example, like under the tongue for body temperature, or in a room to measure air temperature. In cooking, like we can just like put it in the pot. Okay, the second step, we wait for a few seconds until the temperature is stopped. If it's going up, it's hot. If it's going down, it's cold. And the last step is read the temperature directly from the scale or the digital screen. So it depends of the temperature you use. For example, if the thermometer show 37 Celsius, that means your body temperature is normal. Thermometers are used in hospital, in kitchen, laboratories, even at home to monitor health. Okay, and that's a quick introduction to the thermometer, a small tool that plays a big role in our daily lives. Thank you for watching.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Nur Sifa. So in this video, I'm gonna explain about measuring instrument called the laser distance measure. It is a modern tool that uses laser technology to measure distance accurately and efficiently. So this measurement is a small handheld device. It consists of a laser beam emitter and digital screen that display the measured distance. Some advanced models include additional features like Bluetooth connectivity, memory storage, or even area and volume calculation. The laser distance measure works by emitting a laser beam toward a target. The device calculates the time it takes for the laser to bounce back to the sensor to the device. Using this time, it calculates the distance to the target based on the speed of light. This process is called the time of flight method. This device, the laser distance measure, have three advantages. First is accuracy. The laser provides precise measurement, often within millimeters. Second is ease of use. Simply point the laser at the target, press the button, and you can get the measurement instantly. And last, versatility. It can measure distance, calculate area, and even measure in places that are difficult to reach, like high ceiling. The laser distance measure is used in various fields such as construction, interior design, and even basic experiment. For example, it helps architects measure room dimension accurately without needing a tape measure because of the high ceiling or the place that the architect can reach when use a tape measure. So they use laser distance measure. So to sum up, the laser distance measure is a compact, accurate, and efficient tool for measuring distance or even area. It saves time and effort while providing a reliable result, making it indispensable in both professional and educational settings. So that's all the thing that I can explain about the instrument laser distance measure. Thank you for attention. Bye-bye.
Hello, my name is Rafalina Zeha, and today I will explain one measuring instrument, which is the micrometer screw gauge. The micrometer screw gauge is a precision measuring tool used to measure the length, or the diameter or thickness of an object with an accuracy of up to 0.01 millimeters. It consists of several key parts such as the anvil, spindle, main scale, and the thimble scale. Using it is quite simple. First, make sure the micrometer reads 0. Then, place the object between the anvil and spindle. Rotate the ratchet until the spindle gently touches the object. Finally, read the value from the main scale and thimble scale, then add them to get the final measurement. Micrometers are widely used in engineering and manufacturing fields because of their high accuracy. That's all for my explanation. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Salwa Salsabila, and today I want to tell you a short story about a simple yet very important tool. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening everyone. My name is Salwa Salsabila. Today I want to tell you a short story about a simple yet very important tool in mathematics and daily life. The protractor. A long time ago, ancient civilizations like the Babylonians and Egyptians were already fascinated with angles. They need a way to measure angles precisely, especially for building pyramids, temples, and even for studying the stars. Over time, people invented many different tools, and one of the most helpful creation was the protractor. So, what exactly is a protractor? A protractor is a flat, usually semicircular tool made from plastic or metal. It has a curved edge marked with degrees from 0 degrees to 180 degrees, and some protractors are full circles and can measure up to 360 degrees, but the ones we use most often in school are half circles. So, what exactly is a protractor? A protractor is a flat, usually semicircular tool made from plastic or metal. It has a curved edge marked with degrees from 0 degrees to 118 degrees. Some protractors are full circles and can measure up to 360 degrees, but the one we use most often in school are half circles. Using a protractor is pretty simple. First, you align the small hole or mark at the bottom, called the origin, with the point where two lines meet, which is the vertex of the angle. Then, you make sure one line is along the 0 degrees line on the protractor. After that, you read the number where the second line across the curve. The number tells you the size of the angle. But the protractor is not just for schoolwork. Engineers, architects, carpenters, and even artists use protractors. Whenever someone needs to create or measure an exact angle, whether it's for a bridge, a building, a furniture piece, or a design, the protractors come to the rescue. Today we even have digital protractors that can measure angles more quickly and accurately, but no matter how advanced technology becomes, the simple plastic protractors remain a trusty tool in our pencil case. In short, the protractor is a bridge between art and science. It helps us build, design, and understand the world around us, one angle at a time. Thank you for listening me. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Hello everyone, my name is Widat. In this video, I want to explain a simple but super important instrument we use in the lab experiments, especially in physics, measuring time for motion, oscillation, free fall, and others. It's the stopwatch. A stopwatch is basically used to measure time intervals.
how long something takes. In physics, that's crucial because almost every experiment involves time somehow. Whether you're timing how long a pendulum swings, or how fast an object falls, or how quickly something heats up, you need a stopwatch. Most lab stopwatches are digital nowadays. They're small, easy to carry, and can measure time very precisely, usually down to hundredths of a second. There are also mechanical ones, which are a little older style but work the same way. You press a button to start, press again to stop, and then read the time. Now, using it properly in a lab is really important. First, always make sure you reset it to 0 before starting. Then press the start button exactly when the event begins. For example, when you release a pendulum, press stop as soon as the event finishes, like when the pendulum completes 10 swings. And finally, record the time carefully. Always be consistent with how you start and stop it, because even a small delay in pressing the button can affect your results, especially in fast experiments. Also, in real experiments, we often repeat the timing several times and take an average to reduce human error. Timing errors are very common, but using good technique helps minimize them. In short, the stopwatch might seem simple, but it's a key instrument that teaches you about precision, reaction time, and experimental accuracy, all of which are fundamental skills in physics. So that's it. The stopwatch, small, simple, but absolutely essential in the lab. So that's all for my video. Thank you for watching. See you again in the next video. Goodbye.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning everyone. My name is Yania Putri. In this video, I will explain a measuring instrument called the spring balance. A spring balance is used to measure force or weight. It works based on something called Hooke's law. Hooke's law says the extension of a spring is directly proportional to the force applied to it, as long as the spring is not stretched too much. How does it work? A spring is placed inside a cylinder. When you hang an object from the hook at the bottom, the spring stretches. The stretching moves a pointer along a scale, showing the force applied. The scale usually reads in newtons, or sometimes in grams or kilograms. For example, if you hang 1 kilograms, the spring balance shows about 9.8 newtons. Because 1 kilogram produces around 9.8 newton of force due to gravity. Where do we use a spring balance? In a spring balance used in physics lab to measure force, and in markets to weigh fruits and vegetables, and in engineering for testing tension. In short, a spring balance is a simple but powerful tool for measuring forces by using
the properties of a spring. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone, my name is Yuriko. Today I'm going to show you a really useful measuring tool, the vernier caliper. It's a simple tool but very precise, so let's check it out. A vernier caliper is used to measure the length, the thickness, inner diameter, and even the depth of an object. It has two scales, the main scale and the vernier scale. So when we use them together, we can measure things very accurately, up to 0.02 millimeters. This tool has different parts: big jaws to measure the outside of an object, small jaws for the inside, and a rod at the bottom to measure depth. So here's how to use it. First, put the object between the jaws. Slide the jaws until they touch the object gently. Don't press too hard. Then, look at the main scale and read the number just before the zero on the vernier scale. After that, find where the lines on the vernier scale and the main scale match exactly. Add that small number to main reading, so that it's your final measurement. For example, if the main scale shows 24 millimeters and the vernier scale adds 0.08 millimeters, then the object is 24.08 millimeter thick. So make sure you look straight at the scale when reading it, so you don't make mistakes. And that's it. That's how you use vernier caliper. It's easy with a little practice. So thank you for watching this video. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.